15th of December, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
From the Mishnah, I think the Mishnah is. We'll start from the Mishnah again. We need to review what it says in the Mishnah. So it's on towards the bottom of 12b.
12B3, Alan.
B3, right, okay.
Okay.
Start with the rest of the chapter.
The beginning of the Mishnah.
The rest of the chapter deals with the finding documents, which surely cannot be rewarded to the finder and not benefit in any case. The document definitely belongs to one of the principles named in it. However, returning it to one of the principles will benefit him but harm the other. The following Mishnahs will define and delineate when and to whom documents should be returned. Shivrei Achuv. If one found notes of indebtedness, Im Yesh Wahan Akar Rios Chomim, if there is a provision for lien on the property in the notes, Lo Yakazir, the finder may not return them to the creditor. Shabayus Din for the court will exact payment from the properties based on these notes. Aim Mohan Akar Rinos Nichumim, but if there is no provision for lien on the property in the notes, Yachazir, the finder should return them to the creditor. She'ain base, then the court will not accept payment from the properties based on these notes. Divrei Rabbi Meir, these are the words of Rabbi Meir. Mim Omerim, what the sages say, Ben Cain Yon Kach, in either case, Lo Yachazir, the finder may not return them to the creditor. Mipanei she Bayisdin for the court will exact payment from the properties based on these notes.
Okay. Do we have any Rashi on the Mishnah? Yeah, we got Rashi on the Mishnah. It's about 7 lines from the bottom.
Let's see. Achrayos Nichsim. Achrayos Nichasim. So let's see. It's so it's achrayos means a lien, and nichasim means inside
property.
A lien on property. She'avod kaos she'ba mehen. Shavod is to work.
Right. This word, you're right. The root of the word is to work, and the working is that it's shibud means that it's the lien, it's the subjugation.
the subjugation of the real property sheyigba, that comes from them.
Sheyigba, that he could collect, from the word gova. Yigba mehen, that he could collect, meaning the creditor could collect mehen from them, from those properties that are subjugated to paying the notes, the loan note.
Okay. So achrayus nichasim means that the creditor can collect money on the basis of this statement, the statement of achrayus.
Well, there's actual karka. There's actual real property that's subject to the note. That in other words, if there's an unpaid loan, so if the loan has been written into a loan agreement, and there's witnesses to the loan, so then the loan will be subject to will place a lien on property. And in the event of non-payment, so then the creditor will be able to will collect his unpaid loan by taking the property of the debtor.
So the creditor can take the property, sell it, and get his money.
Yeah.
Okay. Yachazir. Lo yachazir.
Yachazir, lo yachazir.
Go back. He cannot go back. He cannot retract.
Yeah.
Tama v'Gemora mefarish. The reason for this will be explained in the Gemora.
Yeah. Okay, so that's all of Rashi's explanation on the Mishnah. Very good. Okay, so I guess we're left to the Gemara to understand what the Mishnah is talking about. Okay, so we'll go directly to the Gemara. My askinan. More asks. Alan, would you like to continue the reading?
Which page are we on now?
Same page, Alan. 12b3.
Okay.
Right after the Mishnah, we have a Gemora.
Okay. The Gemara investigates the exact status of the debt in the found note. We may asa kinon with what case we're dealing in the Mishnah. Even more, if you say that the Mishnah refers to a case where the debtor admits that the debt is indeed owed, Kiesh Mohen Yos, the call Ayib Amay Lo Yakadzir. Then when there is provision for a lien of real property in the notes, why may the finder not return them to the creditor? Why he admits that he owes the debt. The Gemara now considers whether the opposite circumstance is a viable possibility. And if the Mishnah refers to a case where the debtor does not admit that the debt is owed, ki ein abohen use and the mim amay yakazir, then when there is no provision for a lien on your property in the notes, why should the finder return them to the creditor? You need the low granted that the creditor will not be able to use the note to collect that from encumbered property, for example, real properties that are no longer in the debtor's possession, and from which creditor can collect only if a lien against them. Hooray, million more, gourmet, but from properties free of encumbrance, for example, from properties which are still in the debtor's possession, and from which the creditor can collect even without a lien, the creditor will indeed be able to use the note to collect. How then can we instruct the finder to return the note to the creditor over the protested debtor that he will unjustly be harmed by this?
Okay, so yeah, so the Gemora, we're just reading from the beginning of the Gemora, Roy, after the Mishnah.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Rashi?
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe Rashi will help us a little.
Ishachayev Modeh. It's a case where the debtor admits shehalo modeh she'ashtar Eino Perua.
Yeah.
What is shehalo?
Shahalove.
Shahalova, that the borrower admits shehashtar Eino Perua, that the document,
The loan document.
The loan document is not Perua. What's Perua?
Perua. It's not paid up.
Not paid up. He admits that the loan document is not paid up.
Right. It sounds like, without understanding it fully, because I'm not really following 100% over here, but we're trying to determine the status of this loan document that was found. It's who did it fall from? Who do we give it back to, if anybody? So if you say that we got a case where the borrower admits that the shtar has not been paid off, so he's basically admitting that the shtar belongs to the what's it called, the guy that lent the money,
The credit.
to the malva, to the creditor. So if the lova admits to that, so then Gemora is asking over here, am I lo yachzir? Why should we not give it back?
Should I read the next Rashi? Am I lo yachzir? Rabbi, you're muted.
Okay, so I just want to say one thing before we have the Mishnah. The Gemora asked the question, Maya Skinan. Whenever Gemora asks that, the Gemora means there's something we don't understand about what's going on over here. So the Gemora says, let's clarify this matter. It's not clear. Ilema, if you'll say that the Mishnah is talking about a case, Kishachayev Moda, if we're talking about a case where the Rashi told us Chayev Moda is referring to the borrower, and the borrower admits that the loan agreement, the document, has not been paid up. So that's the Gemora. The Gemora continues, Ki yesh behen achrayis nechasim. If the shtar is has achrayis nechasim, amay lo yaksir. Why should he not? Why should we not give it back? Why should we not give it back to the guy that loaned the money? Okay, so let's see what Rashi has to say about that. Let's see. My lo yaksir.
My lo yaksir. Im lit rof the koch os ba de bedin hu tor fan. What is litrof?
To extract, to take out.
Okay, so if he will extract the kochos, the strength.
Lakuchos the word means the purchaser, and here we're talking about the purchaser of the property. Which property, you'll ask? The property that was subject to being subject to being that was on lien in the case of non-payment of the loan. So basically, in other words, the issue, the story is like this: you got a guy that borrowed money, and he owns property, and so after he borrowed the money, he sold the property that was supposed to be stand as a lien for non-payment to a buyer, and that's the lokeach that we're talking about. So this lokeach is now the owner of this property that was on lien to pay the guy that lent the money in case the guy that borrowed it doesn't pay. So we're saying that. So that's what it says over here. Amai lo yaksir. Why should we not give it back? Why should we not give it back to who? Give it back to the one that borrowed the money. He's got the loan. He should get this loan document that was found. And then Rashi says, Im litrov lekuchois bo. If he's coming to the Bezdin because he wants to extract this property from the purchaser of that property, from the lova, the one that borrowed the money, continues Rashi.
Ba bedin hu torfin. It comes with the law. What is torfin?
That he's coming to extract, to take out. Imli trof lekuchos bo kama. If he's coming to take out from the lekuchos, bedinhu torfon. He's taking out from them according to the din, according to the halacha. He's authorized to do that. So on that, the Gemora says that's That's what the Gemora is saying. Amaylo yachzir. Why should we not give it back to the guy that lent the money?
He's just going to do the right thing.
He's just trying to get the money back that he's owed. And so if he's going to go to the one that bought the property in order to take it away from him, so that's he's coming to do that bedin. That's within his legal right to do so. So why should we not give it back to give the loan document that proves that he did in fact loan this money, and there's a date on the document. There's a date on the document. There's a date on the document that clarifies that this loan was made and this contract was signed up before the borrower sold the property to the buyer. And so therefore the buyer should be on notice that he's buying property which is on lien to pay a debt of the seller of the property. Okay. So that's what we got so far. Again, the Gemara says, "B'maya skidin." What's the Mishnah talking about? Ilema shechayev moda. If the guy that borrowed the money, he's moda that it hasn't been paid, so then kiyesh behen achrayis nechasim. So if that star has the achrayis nechasim, that there's property that stands to be that's standing as security for the payment of that loan, amay lo yaksir. In other words, even if that means that the guy's gonna the guy that loaned the money is gonna come and pull out this star on the lokeach, the purchaser of that property, and that means that that purchaser is going to get his property taken away from him. So that's the way the din goes. He's justified in doing that. So that wouldn't be a reason why we shouldn't give to return yaksir the document to the guy that borrowed and lent the money. Okay.
So can we say that the third party who bought the property is going to lose out, and that's why we don't want to return the document to the creditor?
No, the Gemora is saying that the creditor is within his rights to take the property away from the purchaser. So that if that's the reason, if that's the issue at hand, if that's what we're concerned with the creditor doing, so then that's not a reason to not give it back to him. Amay lo yaksir. Why should we not give it back to him? He's within his rights, says Rashi, to be toref, to extract that property from the buyer.
Why? Well, why? The issue is the money, isn't it? When it boils down to it, rather than the property. So the person who sold his property that he had on lien, instead of having now the property, now he's got the money. So why can't he just pay the money? Why does the property have to be forfeit?
Oh, he spent that money a long time ago, Roy.
All right. Hmm. Because I can say yes, but the person the creditor knew straight away that he sold the property, so then he could just jump in straight away and say, "Now you've got the money, give it to me."
Yeah, see, what people don't understand over here is that this guy who bought the property,
Hmm.
right? Before you buy property, you've got to find out whether this property has a shibud on it. Maybe there's a reason why this person who's selling you his property, maybe there's a reason why he wants to sell this property to you right now.
Hmm. Yeah, we have the.
You got to check out to find out whether this the seller of yours has any outstanding loans that he's made,
Hmm.
meaning that he was the borrower, and that there is a loan note floating around which says that he borrowed money from Plony, who loaned him money, and if he doesn't pay it, then Plony's going to have 100% right to get the unpaid loan paid off by the property, which is the whole reason why he loaned the money. He's not going to loan the money to this guy unless he's got security, right? Okay. Okay, so now the Gemora continues. So that's the Gemora's question now. Why should he not have to give it back? Hamoda. Gemora says the loiva, he's already been moda. The borrower has been moda that the shtar has not been paid. He didn't pay it off yet. And therefore it's clear that this loan document that fell somewhere, who did it fall from? It fell from the
Borrower.
Fell from the creditor.
How do we know that?
We're deducing the fact that since the loan has not been paid, then who's the one that has it in his possession? The creditor.
Because the borrower admits.
Yeah. When somebody wants a loan, he writes a note of indebtedness, and he gives that, and then he has it. You have witnesses. You have witnesses that sign the note. So now that note creates a shibud. So it creates a shibud. It creates a lien on the property that's owned at that time of the note being made. The property that's owned by the borrower. So when he receives he gives that note to the creditor when he makes the loan. So now until the time that loan is paid off by the borrower, that note is being kept by the creditor. So here we have a funny situation where the creditor somehow we have a funny situation where we find the note in the street. What happened that the note is found in the street? So we're willing to accept the fact that it must have fallen from the creditor because the borrower has admitted that he didn't pay it yet. So there's no reason to assume that it fell from the borrower. Why would the creditor have given the note to the borrower if he didn't pay it yet? Because that's the note that he needs in order to prove that the borrower owes him money. Okay. Okay, so that's the first half of this question. So the Gemora is saying, what's the case over here that we don't know what to do with this note? If you say that the guy admitted that it wasn't paid off yet, so why should we not give it to the creditor? Now we're going to go to the other side. Roy, you want to continue with the reading? You see where we are?
Yeah. Kishain chayiv ma'odeh. And if the Mishnah refers to a case where the debtor does not admit that the debt is owed, debtor does not admit, ki ein v'hain acharayus nechosim amai yachazir. Then, where there is no provision for a lien on real property in the notes, why should the finder return them to the creditor?
Oh.
What's he saying? When there's no provision for a lien on real property in the notes, that's the notes that he found in the street. Why should the finder return them to the creditor? Nahi dala nave granted that the creditor will not be able to use the note to collect from encumbered properties, that is, from real properties that are no longer in the debtor's possession, and from which the creditor can collect only if he has a lien against them. Mibani hare migava gavei. But from properties free of encumbrances, that is, from properties which are still in the debtor's possession, and from which the creditor can collect even without a lien, the creditor will indeed be able to use the note to collect. How then can we instruct, says Scroll, the finder to return a note to the creditor over the protest of the debtor that he will be unjustly harmed by this? I have no idea what's going on.
Okay, so it's kind of complicated, and the reason we don't understand this is because we never really understood the Mishnah properly. So we really got to go over the Mishnah again in order to understand this properly.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few twists and turns in the Mishnah over here. We got 3 minutes to do it, so let's try. Let's just read the Mishnah over again. Motza shtar echov. So that's the subject of this Mishnah. Somebody found a loan document in the street. So now the question is, what do we do with it? Im yesh behen achrayis nechasim lo yaksir. So the Mishnah says, if this note has a provision in it that it says in that provision that in the event of non-payment, you may use this note to collect from property that the debtor sold to a third party. So then, it says lo yaksir. If it has such a provision, then it says you can't give this note back to the malva, back to the guy that loaned the money. Shebezdin nefroin mehen, because Besdin will get it paid off. Okay, so that's the first part of the Mishnah. Then the second part of the Mishnah is that's in the case where it does have such a provision. Then the Mishnah says, if it doesn't have such a provision, it doesn't have the note, this loan note doesn't provide for going after a property that's now in the hand of a third party in the event of non-payment, doesn't have such a provision. So then it says, Yachsir. Then the one who found it could give it back to the malva. He could give it back to the malva. He could give it back to the lender. Why? Mishum she ein bezdin, because bezdin is not nifroin mehen. Bezdin is not going to collect it. They're not gonna collect it from the to satisfy the note. Okay, and those are the words of Reb Meir. Okay, so that's what the Gemora is focusing on right now. The Gemora is focusing on the words of Reb Meir. Again, the calculation of Reb Meir is that there's two cases basically. The guy finds the note. The finder finds this note in the street. He doesn't know who to return it to. So the Mishnah says it depends. If the note has Achrais Nechasim written into the note, so then don't give it back to the lender. And if it does not have Achrais Nechasim written in the note, so then you could give it back to the lender. So on that's what Reb Meir says. The Chachamim don't agree, but we're not going to get into the Chachamim right now. The Gemora now, we just got through learning the Gemora. The Gemora doesn't understand Reb Meir. So the Gemora says, what's Reb Meir talking about? So if the borrower admits that the loan has yet to be paid, so if it's a case where there is a provision in the shtar for Achrais Nechasim, so then Amai Lo Yaksir. Why should we not give it back to the lender? He'll go and collect his unpaid debt from the guy that bought the property, and that's the way it's supposed to be. Rashi says that should be the din. Why should Reb Meir say don't give it back? And on the other hand, the Gemara says if he's not moda, if the borrower is not moda, meaning to say he tainas that he's already paid it off, so even if there's not achrais nechasim, even if there's not a provision to go after the borrower, to go after the guy that bought the property, even we still shouldn't give it back to the guy that lent the money, because he's not owed any more money. He's already been paid up according to the statement of the borrower, and so why should we give it back to him? So that's where we're holding right now.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Have a great.
All the best, everybody. Have a good day.
Hopefully see you tomorrow, I think. Not too sure.
It's Rat Hashem.
Yeah.
Lucy at
Okay.
4.
Okay, Alan.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.